Hello and welcome to this deep dive session on active listening essentials. My name is Alex and I'm the Learning and Development Manager on this program, and in this session we're going to be focusing on active listening. So it's worthwhile thinking about the fact that most people have heard the phrase or even seen the phrase active listening before, but not many people actually know what it actually is. It's all about a number of different things, and you can demonstrate it in a number of different ways. Ultimately, active listening requires a number of different things, and it's a technique that's used in counselling, training, conflict resolution, mentoring, all sorts of areas, and it requires the listener to focus on a couple of specific things. Concentration. The listener has to be fully concentrated and must be able to respond in a timely manner to be able to demonstrate that they're actually listening. It requires understanding, and the listener has to remember various different things about what is being said. Now, at a very high level, that's fairly simple, right? Relatively easy. But there's a lot more to it. Active listening involves you to use all of your senses as well as giving the speaker your full attention. It's very important for the active listener to be seen to be listening. Otherwise, the speaker may think that the listener just isn't interested. And this is why body language is so important. Because you don't want to give off a very casual vibe like this and make it seem as if you're not interested, or you're distracted by something else, or potentially you're just not in the conversation. Also, you don't want to give these kind of vibes. You don't want to look completely unapproachable or potentially annoyed. This could be a very bad way of demonstrating active listening. But no matter what you do, just don't be awkward about it, like this giraffe. A couple of different ways that you can demonstrate active listening in a non-verbal way could be nodding your head and smiling. Very simple. Maintaining eye contact, and in a virtual setting it's quite difficult to maintain eye contact because you're not actually face to face, you're not giving that eye to eye signal. So looking in the camera can help to give that effect as if you're looking directly at that individual. It's very important not to be distracted by things. It's very easy for us to be distracted by our mobile phones. Please make sure that you keep them away and that you give all of your attention to that conversation. Reacting to what the speaker says is probably one of the biggest things, and you can respond in a number of different ways. One keen way that most people do is just by changing their facial expressions, and it takes some time to sometimes think about what the appropriate facial expression is, and you must remember that you don't want to look like this as if you're uninterested or unapproachable. Body language, especially facial expressions, are incredibly important. And yes, by providing all of this, non-verbal feedback, the person who you're speaking with will naturally feel more at ease, and they'll tend to communicate far more easily because they feel as if there's open and an honest conversation happening, because basically you're giving everything that you need to in this relationship, and mentoring is all about this. So, let's talk about verbal signs. Body language, as you've seen, is pretty important, but verbal signs are also incredibly important too. Verbal cues can help us to be able to give the speaker the feeling as if you are actually listening and seeking to understand them. Things like agreeing, simply saying yes or will give them the idea and the impression that you're actually listening to their message. You can ask questions to help demonstrate that you're taking on board what they're saying, and recalling details, echoing those back is always a very powerful thing to do. Providing feedback is often a very simple thing, and summarizing what you've heard can really help to kind of demonstrate that you've taken on board what they've said, you've digested it, and you're putting it into your own words so you clearly understand what they're saying, hence listening. All of these things will encourage the person you're speaking to actually speak and continue speaking. But don't forget clarifying questions. Clarifying questions I introduced in the Asking the Right Question session. And in this, you'll be able to show that you're actually following along and seeking to find out more, or even confirming that you understood what it was that they said. And a couple of examples that you saw in the other session were, when you said something, what did you mean? Why did you feel this way? When would it be appropriate to? And also, did you always feel this way? These questions can help to demonstrate the fact that you're seeking to understand. So, active listening actually does a lot, and although this is a very, very quick tour through what active listening is, it's as simple as that. That doesn't necessarily mean it's easy though. Active listening combines a lot of things, and ultimately it's to demonstrate understanding, concentration, remembering, and responding to that speaker. If you nail all of those things, that person will feel listened to, will want to open up more, and will usually continue speaking to you. All good things in my view. So, if you've got any questions, please shoot them my way via email, and thank you so much for watching this video.